Welcome back to Crispy's Projects, and in this episode I'm going to run through some of the projects I'm halfway through, all completely unfinished, all not even started yet. And that's only because I was planned to do a load more stuff and it's just not stopped raining over this weekend. So let's run through this. Corrado, you've seen before, it's one of the main projects I'm trying to finish at the moment. So it is a TDI conversion. So I'm not going to run too much through that one because most of you have seen it. I've got a set of shiny wheels to go on and a load of other stuff. Now, more importantly, let's go to the other side of the garden. Or should I say the kids' play area. So nestled in between the slide and the swing is a Mk1 Golf, and all kids should grow up knowing what a Mk1 Golf is. But let's have a closer look. Some of it looks a little bit stock OEM, but I can assure you there's a lot of progress have gone into this to get it as it is. So to be fair, I have not driven this for about 6-7 years, we think. Pretty much 6 years and a month, because the last time this was out, it was out a rolling road, the same rolling road I'm planning to go to next week. So hopefully there's going to be an updated one. The Porsche 914 is coming out, and Murray and I are going to go up to get it rolling road tuned, all being well. I'd organised a rolling road day. We went out and we had some fun. A couple of days later, my son was born. It's nothing to do with taking a pregnant wife over to a rolling road day in something with hard suspension. Now, I've got the set of keys, slightly different, Mark IV keys. Or is it? So something a little bit different with this one. Let's pop them on it and have a look. Could have got a couple of rings for my daily Mark IV that needs painting up. Let's have a look underneath here. Yes, other than a few cobwebs. Does that look familiar? So I'll run through the basics, considering it's not been out for some time. So we have a Mark IV engine which has been pretty much built to be a replica TDI racing lumps. So it has got an injection pump, but that's the latest style injection pump. That's been uprated. I think that's on an 11mm pump at the moment. It was at 12mm at one point. It's got a slightly different inlet manifold. I cannot remember which one it is, but I have had a Mark I inlet manifold at some point on there. It's got a big turbo, so that's a 2056 VNT down there on a custom manifold put together by one of my cousins. Nameplate's just on the edge there, but that's a full stainless steel. Still need to set it up just a little bit. As you can see, there's been a little bit of corrosion just starting to build up. It's been sat off the road for a good couple of years. It's got a Mark III gearbox with a Pelican slip differential, or torsion differential really. It's got Mark IV select style selectors. It's been shortened and modified. A couple of things I needed to do. I was running the heat exchanger in there, which my next plan was actually I'd swapped over the heat exchanger because I was going to run it through a complete cold system on a separate circuit. It's got a fully ported cylinder head, bigger injectors, high lift cam. The cylinder head was actually done by the same person that does a lot of the VW Cup heads, or did do at the time. I presume he still is. And all the Brian Ricketts conversions, you name it, anyone who does actual proper motorsport stuff, he does the heads for them. So I was lucky enough to meet him. He's got some adjustable top mounts. Yeah, I don't think they've been polished up some time, have they? Fully set up. Slightly different track rod ends, they've all been flipped. It actually goes quite well, which I'm sure some of you who've known me for a long time can testify. It's just under 200 brake, so I was aiming for around 200 brake. I think it rolling road at 186, which I'm quite happy with, but there's a load more torque available, there's a load more power sort of available. I just wanted to smooth off the torque, and then I had kids, and then I stopped actual messing around and developing it, and I've just not MOT'd it nor taxed it in all that time. So now we're inside. It has been used as a bit of a storage, I'm sorry to say, but it's quite handy. It's better than keeping chickens in it. Yes, it has got a little bit of a race seat in there, and one on the other side, similar brand, a little bit more faded. Really good seat belts. They are absolutely phenomenal when you're in there. Fully caged. That's been modified ever so slightly because it's still got a sunroof. I wanted to keep it as a bit of a cruiser. And Mark IV clocks. This is one modification I would like to do, because I've been playing a lot more with Mark IV clocks for the Corrado conversion. So there's a few trick things I want to do with these, but these are basically the same sort of clocks, just as you can see they don't really fit, and I just made a little bit of a bracket in there. It's got electric adjustable steering, but let's see if she starts up. What are you warning for? Yeah, that's gone probably low fuel. That screen's gone, so I need to get rid. Yes, there's no screen there, that's it. I could actually touch these needles. So let's see if she starts up anyway. Let's get the key in right there. Neutral. Whee! That's not been touched for a good couple of months and she still starts up. So we got lambda probes, temp gauge, Snickers bar. I'm guessing that's out of date. A little bias down there, and all your important gauges. So temperature, boost, and you notice the oil pressure is really low. That is actually measured right at the end of the engine, because I did have it in the place right by the filter and it was always showing 5. That's a true indication of the very last part of the engine, of how much it is getting on the very last cam lobe. So I am happy with that. Actual engine block stroke oil filter, where the low pressure one is, it's pretty much too late if there's a problem, and that shows like 5-6 bar when it's cold, which isn't a real indication, whereas just over 1.5 when it's cold, right at the back of cylinder number 4, even when it's hot in that location, because it was never really a true indication. But it has got a popcorn maker, so pops and bangs. Might be able to hear the turbo kick in there. Even got electric power steering. So I fitted electric power steering, converted it from a Vauxhall or Opel Corsa electric setup, so a mid 2000 one that's got a 555 chip sort of kit, but I found the duty cycle has never really been that stable, and I've not been very happy with it, because between winter and summer it changes over with the speed, and the inputs, it's not really that great. It's more of a trick one. So I'd much prefer to do an actual program map sort of input output, because it can vary quite a lot to the input sensitivity. And having it all the way off, because there's also a quick rack in there, does make a big difference. But I'm really happy that it's started up, to be honest. It's not been started for a few months. Battery goes on charge, so it's not overly noisy. This car has been all across Europe, up and down quite a lot of the UK. Being a diesel engine never really bothered me. So that's the original Mark 1 diesel I've got, and it does live up to the D badge. I've done quite a few track days in this. I'm not saying I'm a really good track day driver or anything like that. I've done a fair number of track days, and it's been out to the ring quite a few times as well. So it's done a few laps around there. So some of you that already know me might have actually been on one of those trips with me. because the Corrado needs to be first. So the Corrado, if you've not seen this one, it is a 1.9 diesel with lots and lots of trick things going on to make it as 100% OEM finish as possible. There's loads of videos on the channel, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but basically it's an engine conversion and then some. I've also got the T5 van, which is just parked up there. I've got quite a few items ready to go on that, and just debating whether to do a day van, camper conversion, or just pimp it up a little bit externally. I've got another project which is going to be on the channel. It's actually parked out front, but first I need to get the Corrado done. So one of the things I wanted to do today, if it decided whether it was going to carry on raining or not, was actually fit the suspension. And I've got something trick going on there that I need to put on there. But as you can see, it's already got bigger brakes, combination of VR stuff. It was originally 4 stud. It's got bigger brakes, painted calipers, again all on the channel. And we actually go up to the engine, which most of you actually seen anyway, so I won't bang on too much about it. Basically 1.9 diesel Mark IV, 6-speed gearbox, homemade drive shafts, air conditioning, or should I say the gas isn't in there, so it's completely untested, but it would be nice. Again, all stuff that's on the channel. A couple of things to run through for the MOT really is basically finish off the suspension, make sure it's got bolts and everything that should need a bolt, everything is tight, spanner checked, and to be fair, I think it's pretty much ready for MOT. Well, I wanted to run through some of the projects, and to be fair, these are the only couple that are actually here. I've got some more tucked away. Got an old BMW that I need to sort out, an old Ford I need to sort out, another old VW I need to sort out. I'm sure there's a few more things coming along. Never mind the multiple Porsches that seem to come my way that need a little bit of fettling with. So I'm probably not going to work on this one for quite a while. So if you want to hang around for this one, go and click subscribe. Go and have a little look around the rest of the channel. I've pretty much decided Corrado's got to be finished, then the T5, and then decide what I'm going to do after that. And if you thought this video was complete and utter nonsense and completely different from what I normally do, you're absolutely right. But there's a couple of reasons. I've been trying to work through one of the videos that I'm working on, which is quite interesting, different, unique, something I've not seen done on a conversion, and I pretty much reckon it's gonna work. But I'm just trying to get all that footage because it's filmed over a good couple of months, trying to get it all together, try and make some sense. And before I had a real plan of when I was making these videos of a start, middle and an end, so I'm missing loads of important stuff in the middle. It's mostly me trying to explain what the hell's going on. And the other reason, it does really help the YouTube algorithm if I upload fairly frequently, so I'm told. I still don't believe it. So either way, if you want to subscribe, if you're not already a subscriber, that would be brilliant. That would really help out the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.